In modern political debates, neoliberalism has become the primary explanation for the world's systemic failures. Yet, despite it being the dominant economic force in the Western world, almost no politician or economist publicly identifies as a neoliberal. Constant weaponization has turned the term into a generic buzzword, making it difficult for the public to identify its actual mechanical definition. To understand why the modern economy functions the way it does, we have to look past the rhetoric and examine the historical engines it was designed to replace. Until the late 1920s, classical liberalism was the baseline. This system operated on a single core rule. The state and the free market must remain completely separate, with zero government intervention. This hands-off approach met a catastrophic end in 1929, when the market crashed and triggered the Great Depression. Governments across the globe swapped engines, adopting Keynesianism. To save the market, the state began printing money, lowering interest rates, and funding massive public works projects to create state-paid jobs. By the 1970s, this model also reached a breaking point. Endless government spending resulted in uncontrollable inflation and a crisis of extreme national debt. With neither total market isolation nor total state control proving sustainable, economists in the 1980s engineered a hybrid system to keep the economy moving. This new framework, neoliberalism, brought back the free market pricing of classical liberalism, but changed the core role of the government. Under the old liberal rules, individuals and companies were entirely responsible for protecting their own property and liberty. Under neoliberalism, the state actively intervenes. It extracts public taxes specifically to build an infrastructure that protects and incentivizes private capital. This protection takes the form of public funds being used to enforce private property laws and maintain the police forces that secure corporate assets. Neoliberalism weaponizes state power to act as the ultimate, publicly funded bodyguard for private wealth. When a system protects capital but refuses to regulate it, unchecked monopolies emerge. Without government oversight on market activity, large companies can freely buy or destroy smaller competitors to eliminate competition. These monopolies consolidate wealth at the top by establishing their own prices and suppressing wages for the lowest tier of workers. Modern society expresses deep concern over extreme wealth inequality, yet our standard of living relies on the accessible goods produced by corporations that keep labor costs at poverty levels. To manage the resulting social friction, governments tax wealthy individuals and corporations to fund social welfare programs for the exploited underclass. This creates a self-reinforcing loop. The system requires a permanent underclass to keep consumer goods cheap, but it must tax its winners to prevent that underclass from collapsing. This welfare model is difficult to sustain. Families with less economic stability have the highest birth rates, while the wealthiest have the lowest. Consequently, the population requiring assistance is growing, while the population generating tax revenue is shrinking. This creates an inescapable conflict. The vulnerable underclass demands that the state guarantee their basic survival and health, the right to life. Meanwhile, the wealthy class demands the state guarantee their economic freedom and protect their assets from taxation, the right to liberty. Neoliberalism is the arena in which society is currently trapped, caught in an infinite, mathematically unsolvable war between survival and freedom.